A 13-3 run for Iowa.
And I think Iowa is okay giving up the mid-range.
Here's Clark driving in for two.
Some players dribble to move. Caitlin Clark dribbles to dominate. The moment Caitlin Clark steps onto the court, defenders know they're in for a nightmare. Her ball handling isn't just getting from point A to point B, it's an art form. Every dribble she takes is deliberate, calculated, and loaded with creativity.
Knight behind the back. Caitlin Clark for three.
Is her time, and she has taken advantage.
Whether she's driving to the rim, setting up a deep three, or putting a defender on skates, Caitlin has mastered the ability to make her dribbling unpredictable. She doesn't just control the ball, she controls the entire pace of the game.
Your view.
There is no question that the paint is a completely different story as Clark just went right by her.
And here's the thing, Caitlin's dribbles only get more spectacular as the game goes on. From quick, tight crossovers that make defenders freeze to dazzling behind-the-back moves that create space out of nothing, she's a walking highlight reel. Her spin dribbles and no-look drags aren't just flashy, they're effective, breaking down defenses and giving her an edge at any moment. With each move, her confidence builds, and so does the excitement. Stick around, because these dribbles will leave you speechless. Trust me, you won't believe where this ends. Early flashes of brilliance. Even during her early days at Iowa, Caitlin Clark's handles were turning heads. One of her earliest NCAA tournament moments came when she went behind the back to shake off a tight defender, finishing with an elegant layup.
She drives, that help comes over, and Maurice's had no room to maneuver. Clark up and under. To come up out of her stance, and therefore Clark has the ability to go, and then just stepping through.
It wasn't just a move, it was a statement. Her dribbling was already showing flashes of brilliance, blending skill and confidence that few college players could match. In those early Iowa games, her ability to split defenses was remarkable. With her footwork, Caitlin could manipulate defenders into thinking she was going one way, only to shift gears and blow past them. Her crossovers were clean and quick, but it was her deceleration that often left defenders flat-footed. She would slow down just enough to create space, then accelerate right through it. Defenders tried to adjust, but her combination of speed, quick hands, and vision was too much to handle. Caitlin was already creating openings out of thin air, showing that her dribbling wasn't just about style, it was about impact. These early flashes proved she was different. Even when opponents tried to double-team her, Caitlin's finesse and awareness made it look easy. She could navigate through traffic with quick shifts and spins, keeping defenders off balance. The footwork was precise, the handles were smooth, confidence was building. At that stage, opponents were struggling to keep up, but there was still hope. Caitlin's dribbling was dangerous, but she was only just getting started. Taking it up a notch, ankle breakers, and behind-the-back moves. Caitlin Clark's dribbling went from the impressive to downright ruthless as her game evolved. One moment that stands out is her matchup with Ellen, where Clark's crossover was so sharp it forced Ellen to lose her balance and take a seat on the court. The crowd erupted, and Clark, ever composed, continued as if breaking ankles was just part of her routine. Her crossovers became signature moves, quick, decisive, and often leaving defenders scrambling to recover. The behind-the-back wizardry is another level of Clark's arsenal. In transition, when defenders expect her to drive or pull up, she'll whip a behind-the-back dribble to shift direction completely. Take the moment against Odyssey Sims. Clark casually slipped the ball behind her back, leaving Sims grasping at air, before gliding into an easy finish.
To McCowan, and now it's 10. Caitlin bottled up, but it doesn't matter.
Caitlin doesn't waste moves. Every dribble has a purpose, and each one is executed with pinpoint control. Her step backs, though, are where things get devastating. When defenders think they've closed the gap, Clark steps back, sometimes just below the logo, creating space for a deep, unguardable three. It's a move she's perfected, combining her ball handling with elite footwork. Highlights that went viral. Some of Caitlin Clark's dribble moves have transcended the game, turning into viral moments. One of her most iconic highlights came against the Mystics.
It's the sprint ahead of the ball that I'm talking about.
Clark working on Van Loo. Oh, Clark, pretty step back, hits a three.
After a smooth series of dribble moves, Clark stepped back to the logo and drained a deep three, leaving the defender spinning in confusion. The footwork, the confidence, and the ease with which she pulled it off turned heads everywhere. Fans watching couldn't help but rewind and replay the moment. Then there's the infamous wave-off against Raven Johnson.
And look at how far Caitlin Clark is playing off of Raven Johnson.
Daring her to shoot from three.
Do you see her? She's not even looking at her. She's swiped away with her hand.
Johnson dumps it into Cardoso. She throws it away.
A team to shoot the basketball. Watch Caitlin Clark, left side. She doesn't even look at her. Waves her hand as if to say, I don't care about you. I'm not defending you.
During a defensive stand, Clark stood several feet away, daring Johnson to shoot. When Johnson hesitated, Clark waved her off with casual disrespect, a subtle but savage move that showcased her confidence and swagger. But her viral highlights didn't stop there. Defenders have found themselves out of position time and again, victims of Clark's spins, hesitation crossovers, and step-back jumpers. Whether she's breaking ankles or creating ridiculous space, Caitlin's dribbling moments live on far beyond the game. These aren't just highlights, they're reminders of how dominant she can be. Clark's playmaking magic through dribbling. Caitlin Clark's dribbling doesn't just create shots for herself, it opens the floor for her teammates. Her ability to manipulate defenses is unmatched. Take the highlight where she pulled a behind-the-back bounce pass to Smith, perfectly threading it through traffic for an N1 finish. Her dribbling allows her to see angles and openings others miss. She combines elite ball handling with court vision, keeping defenders guessing whether she'll drive, pass, or shoot. Her full court vision shines when she uses her dribble to push and transition. Against aggressive defenses, Clark's dribble drives have dismantled defensive schemes. In a matchup against the Sparks, Caitlin drove into the paint, pulling defenders with her before kicking it out to an open teammate for an easy basket.
14 times this season she's been over the 20-point mark.
Clark, good feed into Boston with deep position. Lays it in.
Her dribbling creates opportunities out of nothing, breaking down defenses and forcing teams to adjust on the fly. Caitlin's playmaking magic lies in her unpredictability. The dribble is her setup, and defenses can never tell what's coming next. Is she about to step back for a logo three or thread a pass through traffic? This constant uncertainty leaves defenders helpless, and it's why Caitlin Clark's dribbling isn't just about scoring. It's about controlling the game entirely.
Clark running. Clark eyes up behind the back, through the lane, lays it in.
The wow moments, her most spectacular dribbles. Some of Caitlin Clark's most unforgettable highlights are moments where her dribbling completely takes over the game. One of her most breathtaking sequences came when she pulled off a behind-the-back dribble that instantly set up a step-back three-pointer over an elite defender. It wasn't just the move itself, but the confidence with which she executed it. Clark's timing was flawless. Her defender shifted just enough for her to create space, and she drained the shot with ease. Plays like this leave both defenders and fans stunned, as if the game pauses to admire what just happened.
Clark. Uh-oh.
Then there's the logo threes, the ultimate display of her ball handling control and shooting range. Caitlin uses quick, ankle-breaking dribble moves to throw her defenders off balance before casually pulling up from near half court. Defenders might stumble or hesitate just slightly, and by the time they recover, the ball is already sailing through the net. It's not just deep shooting. It's the way she combines elite dribbling with unshakable confidence. Every move looks intentional, and the result is a play that goes viral because it seems impossible for anyone else. One sequence against Samantha Whitcomb stands out as a masterclass in ball handling. Clark kept Whitcomb off balance with a series of sharp, controlled dribble moves, constantly shifting direction until Whitcomb was on skates. Clark's handle had total control of the pace, and after Whitcomb finally leaned the wrong way, Caitlin exploded to the rim for the finish. It was a moment that perfectly showcased her ability to mix creativity with control. In another jaw-dropping play, Clark used a dribble fake against Maryland to freeze the defender. Clark used a dribble fake against Maryland to freeze the defender. She pump faked just enough to make her opponent bite before smoothly shifting her spot and sinking the three-pointer. Impact on the game. Why her handles matter. Caitlin Clark's dribbling is the foundation of her entire game. Her handles allow her to create space against even the best defenders, making her nearly unguardable. Her style has a ripple effect beyond the court. Young players, especially girls, watch Caitlin Clark and see what's possible with hard work and creativity. Her dribbles aren't just about flair. They're about purpose and control, showing a new generation that basketball is as much an art as it is a game. Defenses collapse on her because of how dangerous she is off the dribble, but Clark uses that attention to her advantage. Whether she's setting up a shot for herself or making a perfect assist, her dribbling breaks down defenses in ways few players can. Caitlin Clark has turned dribbling into a tool of dominance, and she's made every possession an opportunity to create something special. Do you think there's any player that would match her dribbling skills? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. If you love Caitlin Clark, like and subscribe for more of her videos.
Bebic hounding Clark. Clark, step back three, knocks it down.